Okay, so I thought I should hop on here. I'm Anjanette, by the way. If you're logging on, I haven't been on here in a while. I should get on here more often, and I'm usually kind of busy with work and life and being a mom and everything, so I don't get on here as much as I'd like to. But I thought I should hop on because there's been something really bothering me lately, and it's this whole thing about Thanksgiving and the election. And I've been seeing so much on TV, I've been seeing it all over social media about people saying that the presidential election is keeping them from getting together with family members who they don't agree with. So there are people who voted, I guess, for Trump, who aren't going to be seeing family members who voted for Kamala Harris and things like that. And I think that is crazy. And so I thought I should hop on here because I think family gatherings can get so awkward and weird sometimes. Um, but that's been like really disheartening to me that people would let the election and just how divisive the politics have gotten, like, stop them from hanging out with their families on Thanksgiving or Christmas or any other holiday. It's over. We have these elections every 4 years. And so I just don't like the thought of that at all. I think it's crazy. I think people need to just put all of that aside and not talk about it. And when I worked in local news, I remember doing a story about this and talking to a psychologist about it. I think back in 2016. Hi, Kruger. Kruger is asking if I am vegan, and I am not. I tried to go vegetarian years and years ago. Um, I I didn't go full vegetarian, but I stayed away from pork and beef for a really long time. I only ate um, really, I actually tried to eliminate all of it from my diet, meat, but it was really, really difficult. So I do eat red meat now, but I try to avoid it. I don't eat pork. I do eat fish. So there you have it. But when I worked in local news, I remember back in 2016 because I covered politics. I covered politics for years, and I actually really missed covering politics in this last presidential election. Like, if you were going to cover politics, this last election was the election you wanted to cover, because it was just crazy, the entire thing, with Joe Biden dropping out, with the assassination attempt on President Trump, and then the second one. It was wild. And I actually interviewed President Trump twice. Once right before he became the Republican nominee in 2016, and then I interviewed him again in August of 2019 when he was the president, of course, before COVID and all of that stuff happened. But anyway, I digress. Back in 2016, I remember talking to a psychologist about this because there were so many people. This came up back then. People were talking about how awkward it was going to be with their family members. Um, at Thanksgiving during the holidays. And you know what? Just don't talk about it. Put it aside. There are so many other things to talk about, and it's over. And I remember talking to one psychologist who said, even when holidays can be kind of tricky anyway, it just can be awkward with family that a lot of times your family, they're not always the people you're going to spend the most time with. One told me to use imagery, and you like create a bubble around yourself, and where you can just it's a bubble where you can let good things in and only good things can come in. So you envision a bubble around yourself. So I thought that was a pretty cool way to deal with it. Xander Prime is asking me what made me get into politics. Um, well, I mean, I just was interested in covering it. I always was. I covered it when I first started working in news, but now I'm covering crime. So covering a lot of crime. That's all I cover is crime. So, and some of it gets kind of crazy. For those of you who might be into crime and follow me covering crime, Sam Gloves likes gloves. I'm glad to hear that. Um, for those of you, um, for those of you who follow me watching crime stuff, Sean Combs was denied bail today for the third time. Not a surprise, not a shock. Not shocked at all by that. So I had been covering that. So Sam Gloves, this sounds kind of like a joke. No, I don't have any. I'm sure I have gloves somewhere around here. So anyway, I just wanted to get on and talk about that for a few minutes, because I would really hate for people not to see their family, um, because of the election. I just think it's crazy. It's over. And, look, you know, majority of the country voted for one person, others did not. And, things are going to move forward as they always do. The docket says hi. Sure. The docket says hi. So thanks for popping on the docket. But I think I'm going to pop on here. I'm going to do my best to pop on here on Friday because there are some cases that I would like to talk about that I haven't been able to talk about lately. One of them is the Pike County massacre case. I've covered that since 2016. I don't know if a lot of you know about that case, but it's a horrible case. A horrible case. One family, a family of 4 people, accused of murdering 8 members of another family in one night. And so, they did it. I mean, we can say that because 2 of the family members admitted that they conspired to do this. They pleaded guilty. And then um, the third family member, George Wagner, the fourth, was found guilty at trial. And then the father is going on trial in January. So there's been a lot going on in that case in Billy Wagner's trial. It's been nuts. Super Dave, I am not a lawyer. Some people think I am, and I always wanted to go to law school, but it's one of those things where I never found the time to do it. And people would tell me, actual lawyers would tell me, if you're not going to actually practice, don't do it because it will just cost a ton of money. And, you don't really need to do it to cover legal stuff. And I think that's probably true. But it would be something, it would be cool to have. It would be cool to have the diploma. So I really want to talk to you guys about that on Friday, but I just need to bone up and do a little bit of reading and watch the most recent hearing because the most recent hearing in Billy Wagner's case got crazy. And it was all about Billy Wagner. His trial starts in January, as I said, but there's this plea deal that Jake Wagner, his son, made where he said, look, I'll testify against my family members as long as you take the death penalty off the table for all of my family members. So basically, I'm going to turn on everybody and put me in jail for life because I'm scared to death to get the needle. I don't want to be executed. I don't want to get the death penalty, but I'll testify against all my family members, but I want to save their lives too. I don't want them getting the death penalty either. So the new judge in the case, there's a new judge presiding over these cases. He's saying, well, I'm going to remove the death penalty specifications. I'm going to remove this before the case goes to trial. And the special prosecutor was like, no, you're not. She didn't want that to happen. And so things got a little fiery. He also wants to sentence Jake and his mother, Angela, who also pleaded guilty and admitted to this conspiracy before the trial. The special prosecutor doesn't like that. Well, the judge officially removed the death penalty specifications today, and that was really leverage. It was leverage to ensure that the other 2 testified, along with putting off their sentencing till the trial was over. Well, now they're being sentenced next month. So there's been a lot going on. It's kind of confusing and complicated, and I hope a little bit of what I just told you made sense. So, it's crazy. Sorry, I paused for a second. I'm reading your comments. Debbie, I'm hoping that wasn't because of the election. that your daughter didn't come out of the bathroom. My goodness. That sounds bad. But anyway, I thought I would just hop on here. I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. If you can, I am going to post, if I can find it, because sometimes it disappears off of YouTube. If you can find it, watch the WKRP in Cincinnati turkey drop episode. I will post it on Twitter if I can find it. And it makes me laugh so hard that I cry almost every year. And I only watch it once a year because if I watched it more than that, it wouldn't be as funny. So anyway, yeah, happy Thanksgiving, Super Dave. So I hope to jump on here. I'm not going to promise it, but I hope to jump on here on Friday for a little bit to talk about the Pike County case. And we'll go from there. See how it goes. Have a good one. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. See ya. Bye. Oh, actually, Emil J.A., Kid Chris misses you, LOL. Okay. If he misses me, I'll text him then. Okay, thanks so much. All right, again, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Bye.